Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He has the drive and cleverness to achieve a lot, and he throws himself into work with real passion, not just empty talk. But his quick temper and low patience can sometimes get in his own way, causing him to burn bridges or leave things unfinished if he gets frustrated. Without that self control, though, he might stumble or switch paths often.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he reacts quickly and with a lot of emotion, sometimes too much. He might get angry, raise his voice, or say things he later regrets. He can bounce back once he cools off, but in the moment, it feels like a storm.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
At work, people might admire his talent and drive, but many will find him tough to get along with. He often says things very directly without caring if it hurts. And if someone disagrees with him, he doesn't hold back his temper. This can lead to a lot of arguments or tension with teammates.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
He will feel both proud of you and a bit challenged at the same time. Out loud, he might cheer you with bold, enthusiastic words, but inside, he could feel uneasy, sometimes even irritated if he thinks your success outshines his own. Deep down, he does want you to shine, but his reactions can be unpredictable.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you start earning more than him, it's very likely he'll struggle with it inside. He may not always say it directly, but you might notice mood swings, sharp remarks, or sudden distance. Sometimes small things might set him off and he may act restless or easily upset.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's not the most careful with money and tends to act on impulse when it comes to spending. If something excites or inspires him, he might buy it without much planning or worry about the budget. He enjoys treating himself and others, but this can lead to regret later if things go out of control.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He's more likely to spend in a way that shows off, even if it stretches what he can really afford. For him, appearances and excitement often come before careful planning, so you might see him buy fancy things or make big promises, even if his wallet isn't ready. This habit can lead to stress later, especially if bills pile up or savings run dry.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is open handed, generous, and quick to help or share, both with money and small acts of kindness. He enjoys making others feel happy, sometimes even spending more than he should just to see someone smile. But this open spirit also means he can miss when it's time to hold back or save for himself.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He's usually direct and open about money. If something's on his mind, he tells you straight, sometimes even too bluntly. He doesn't really hide things or play mind games, but his honesty can come out as rough words when he's upset or under pressure. What you see is what you get with him.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He believes that housework should be shared, but he might not always follow through in practice. He values fairness and can talk about working together as a team, but often gets distracted by his own projects and may forget or ignore daily chores. Sometimes he'll step in with bursts of energy and help out, but you can't rely on him to keep things organized or stick to a routine.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He'll pitch in with chores and even diapers, especially if it's new or feels exciting at first, but he isn't steady with it. You might see him jump in and help in a big way on some days, then completely vanish from the scene when it gets routine or boring. If you need equal regular support, clear talks and reminders will be needed.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
Most of the time, he argues to prove he's right instead of truly listening to your side. If there's a disagreement, he feels a strong urge to win the argument and may raise his voice or bring out sharp words. This can make you feel unheard or dismissed during fights.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he can lose his cool and say things that are hurtful or sharp. He doesn't always hold back or choose gentle words. Instead, his feelings come out strong and he might raise his voice or act in ways that feel aggressive. Later, he might feel sorry, but at that time, his reaction can hurt.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, this is the kind of man who gets angry quickly. Little things can set him off, and you will likely see his temper more often than in most people. This isn't something to take lightly. If he often loses control, says harsh things, or frightens you when upset, it is a serious sign you should not ignore.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He has a hard time saying sorry right away and often blames you or the situation first. When things go wrong, his first instinct is to defend himself or explain why it wasn't his fault. Sometimes he may even point fingers or bring up your mistakes to shift the blame.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He can be quite forceful about getting his way, which means sometimes he may push against your boundaries or try to argue when you say no. While he isn't likely to ignore your no completely, he may debate or pressure you to change your mind if he feels strongly. This is something to be very careful about. Respecting boundaries is important for your comfort and safety. It's important to stand firm and expect your boundaries to be respected at all times.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he's likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He might react with frustration, sulking, or even sharp words, thinking your feelings are about him instead of just your own mood or comfort. Sometimes he could try to convince you or question your reasons instead of simply accepting your no. This can leave you feeling pressured or misunderstood.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
He can be emotionally unpredictable. So while he usually keeps private moments between you, there's a risk if he gets very upset or angry. In a heated argument, he might bring up sensitive things you shared to make a point or defend himself, not understanding how much it can hurt. He doesn't usually set out to embarrass you, but when his feelings take over, he may not always think about the impact of his words.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is energetic and drawn to excitement, which means he may sometimes notice or flirt with other women, especially if things get routine at home. While he can be loving and loyal when deeply connected, his need for newness and attention can make him more tempted by outside distractions than some men. This doesn't always mean he will be unfaithful, but you might find yourself feeling uneasy if you value steady commitment and trust.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, he can be over possessive at times. His strong emotions and quick temper can make him jealous or suspicious easily, especially if he feels you're giving attention to someone else. He might try to control who you talk to, question where you go, or even get upset over harmless things.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what may look like being protective can actually be a sign of a controlling personality. He might say he's looking out for you, but often his actions come from wanting to be in charge or make all the decisions. Over time, this kind of control can suffocate your independence and happiness.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He likes the idea of parenting as a team and may say he wants to do things together, but in real life, he often expects you to handle most of the work. He'll help when it feels fun or important, but regular tasks like feeding, cleaning, or handling tantrums might fall to you. He's not great with routine and can easily get busy with his own life.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he is more likely to lose his temper than stay calm. Small mistakes or bad behavior from the children can make him react quickly, sometimes with raised voice or angry words. Later, he might feel bad about it and try to make up, but in those moments, his anger comes out first.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will support you in your role as a mother when it suits his mood or when he's feeling positive, praising your efforts, and encouraging the family. However, he may struggle to see and respect you as your own person, especially if your independence feels like a challenge to his ego or control. You'll need to be clear and firm about your needs and your right to both roles. Don't be afraid to stand your ground for your own identity.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, this is the kind of man who might cheer for your career in the beginning, but once you have a child, he could change his tune and expect you to put your work aside. He enjoys the excitement of your achievements at first, but if parenting gets tough or he feels stressed, he may start hinting or even insisting that you focus only on the family. This shift can feel confusing and unfair if you love your work.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He may struggle to show real warmth to your parents. While he can be lively and talkative, his kindness often comes off as blunt or lacking in gentle care. He might act polite around them when needed, but doesn't put much effort into building a deep or warm connection. He's more likely to expect your family to adjust to him rather than changing his ways to fit in with them.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is more likely to react strongly and make things worse. He tends to get frustrated quickly and may say things out loud that hurt or embarrass others instead of handling the situation calmly. This can create even more tension between you and your family.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is likely to act modern and open minded with you in private, but expect you to be a traditional supportive wife when his relatives are around. While he enjoys your independence and confidence at home, family gatherings or meetings with elders might bring out his traditional side. This double standard can feel frustrating and confusing.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension between you and his family, he is more likely to stay out of it or even quietly side with them, rather than stand up firmly for you. He tends to avoid uncomfortable conflicts at home, especially with his own relatives, and may expect you to adjust instead of risking family arguments. You'll need to be strong in speaking up for yourself.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He is quite likely to be a mummy's boy, especially when it comes to family conflicts. If there's a disagreement between you and his mother, he'll often lean toward her side either openly or by staying silent and expecting you to adjust. This can leave you feeling alone or unsupported.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is likely to share details of your fights or private life with his mother or sister, especially if he feels upset or unsure. He may turn to them for comfort or advice, sometimes without thinking about your privacy. This can lead to family members knowing things you'd rather keep between just the two of you.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being in a relationship with this man feels like living on a roller coaster. There are moments of excitement, laughter, and deep passion, but also sharp drops of temper, sudden mood swings, and unpredictable drama. Some days he is loving, lively, and full of support. Other days he may be distant, impatient, or even harsh with his words.